Pacific language education came under the microscope recently when respected Samoan language expert and academic Ngalumalemana Alfred Hunkin resigned in protest from the Minister of Pacific Islands Affairs Advisory Committee. It came after the release of the new Pacific Education Plan, which, in his view, completely disregards advice he and others have given government over the value of Pacific languages in education. He says government repeats platitudes in the plan but commits no funding to Pacific language education. John Utanga asked him to elaborate.
That's the effect of what they have been doing from my observations after that length of time. We've been saying, sure, we understand that there's no money year after year, but these language policy intentions have never come to any fruition because they keep saying that there's no money, there's no facilities for teacher training, etc. So you wonder after a while whether they actually are listening. But secondly, I felt that it was really a message of governments saying, this government saying, your languages do not really matter in the scheme of things, particularly in the education of your children.
Speaking of Māori, what message would you give to the current Minister of Education, who is well known to, to understand the issues in relation to Māori bilingualism?
I would ask Māori to remember who we are as a people connected through our heritages, that we are part of a Pacific that is proud and that they come from the same stock, if you like, as us. And we must also say that we have been very supportive of them in their drive for their language to be recognized. And I personally stood by people like Peter Sharples long time ago on Marae, John Rangihau, and many other Māori elders who have now passed away. We were actually lobbying for our languages. That's in the 1980s. So we've been doing our part to support them. And all I'm asking is, if you think that you value our languages beside your languages because they are sister languages, please help us out.
So lastly, Ngalumalemana, in your view, if nothing is done to address this particular issue by this government, successive governments, what's going to happen to our languages?
Well, they're dying. There's no two ways about it. What part of that issue is that if government, the New Zealand government, feels that it is a leader of the Pacific nations, and it has been involved historically, economically, and so on with our Pacific island nations for so long, then I think it should really take note of what's happening to the communities that it says it's trying to look after. Support our languages. Put them in schools where they belong.
Now, Education Minister Honourable Hekia Parata acknowledged Ngalumalemana's long service on the advisory committee and expressed her disappointment at his decision.
However, in defence of the Pacific Education Plan, she pointed out that the government can only do so much when it comes to Pacific language education and preservation.
First and foremost, I think that languages belong to us, to our families, to our ainga, to our communities. And if we're not speaking those languages, then no matter what a government or any external organisation might do, it will die. After all, it's not the government that comes to our christenings, to our church services, to our weddings or to our funerals, where our languages are most often spoken in their fullest colour and texture. So it's important that we ourselves, in the first instance, are wanting to speak our languages. So we've established, through several millions of dollars of investment, new Pacifica early childhood centres around New Zealand. We have embedded funding through the Ministry of Pacific Island Affairs for the Pacifica Languages Framework. We have invested money through the Ministry of Education in terms of how we pursue our better public service targets. We are investing money. It may not be specifically identified in the Pacifica Education Plan, but that's because I think that all the work we do in both those ministries should be about raising Pacific education achievement.
Because people like Ngalumalemana say that in terms of the bilingual approach to education that Māori have been privileged and enjoy at the moment, that's the way government should be looking at in terms of Pacifica education, and they believe that that's not happening.
Well, first of all, we need to recognise that despite investment into te reo Māori, te reo o ngā tangata whenua o Aotearoa, we still have significant challenges there, and they are challenges that I think we all need to be mindful of. First of all, we have to make sure that we have teachers who not only can speak the language but are able to teach language, because teaching language as a second language takes particular skills that have to be trained. We need to build the number of Pacifica teachers in the workforce in order for this to be carried out, and the PEP is very clear that we're committed to increasing the number in the teaching workforce. We have to increase the number of Pacifica people who are becoming principals of our schools, and in order to do that we need to have more Pacifica teachers. So we are making investments at different stages, and we will continue to do it, but actually bilingual education, and the lesson from te reo Māori is that it requires a range of people who have the particular skills.
So you can confidently tell our community that Pacifica language education is still on the agenda for this government?
I can confidently tell us that Pacifica languages need to be on the agenda of Pacifica people first and foremost, and that the role of the government is to support that. I can confidently say that in the early childhood area, I am open for business for Pacifica language models and very keen to see those. I can confidently say that the 3 task forces that I have in place focused on raising educational achievement have got very clear targets in terms of Pacifica students. So I'm really confident about that.
And finally, despite the Minister's assurances, the Labour Party's Pacific Affairs spokesperson, Sua Williams-Seal, is yet to be convinced of government's commitment to Pacifica language education.
He expressed concern that cuts to bilingual resources in an earlier plan had not been addressed.
In the main, the goals that the community wanted to return in this plan here that was taken away by the government in 2008 were missing. Reference to the Tupu Series and Whalaunga journals that this government put a hold on in 2009 are still missing. And even though there's reference to Pacific and language content in early childhood education, that's a target, but it doesn't talk about how that target is to be achieved. It doesn't talk about the resourcing that's required. It doesn't talk about the transition from early childhood education to compulsory education.
Are you concerned that Pacifica language education could disappear altogether?
I'm concerned that we'll lose the language, and I think we'll lose more than just the language. I think we'll lose what our young kids are saying is an identity crisis, where and we'll lose a lot of the things that we value that's part and parcel of language and culture.
What message do you give to the current Education Minister, Honourable Hekia Parata, in terms of the concerns from the Pacific community?
Well, I think, you know, she is an example of somebody that benefits from being bilingual, English and Māori. And so she knows the value of that. And I think she needs to be open with our Pacific community and come out strongly endorsing what the community have asked of her. She asked the community to tell her what they wanted. The community have laid that on the table, Pacific language bilingual education. And I think she needs to include that in that particular plan. There's nothing wrong with saying, look, I got it wrong.